Hi everyone, my name is Mark Chong, and I would like to give share some information on how to play a piano. I am by no means a professional, have absolutely no formal training whatsoever. Um, all I can say is I practice on the piano. I've learned various things. If you're familiar with my drawing series, you realize that I kind of like to um, put my finger on specific techniques. And I take a very methodical approach to things. So anyway, again, no formal training. I'm not going to teach you how to play any tunes. Um, you can see my keyboard is all lined up with noob letters. I've got my C, D, E, F. Just taking a permanent marker, marked all my keys. You know what? If you're a beginner, it's okay to do that. This is just a 49 key keyboard controller. It's hooked up with Ableton Live, and I'm just using the MDA, Mike Delta Alpha MDA piano. It's a plugin that you can use with any VST instrument host, any VST host. There's some free ones out there. But anyway, look for MDA piano, and it has a not a bad sounding piano. So this is all just kind of help you get started. Um, let's see, what else can I say about this thing? Um, for now, don't worry about playing tunes. I find that the most important thing for me is learning patterns. And I'll explain why. Here, if I just put my hands on the C, D, E, F, G. All right? Now, that's a pattern right there. It's just thumb, index, you can do this stuff when you're drumming your hands, right? You're just drumming your fingers, and you can drum in the opposite direction as well. If I drum my hands the other way, right? That's a pattern. Now, if I do it with both hands, the pinkies are on the opposite. So watch what happens. Now, you can practice doing this. Try to synchronize both hands so that there will be a little bit of a delay between one hand and the other. You might be a little off, but you know what? Helps it sound a little more natural. Don't worry about being surgically accurate, because otherwise it kind of makes the music sound dead. Now let's see, what else can I show you? The way in which I'm holding my hands and the way in which I'm actuating the keys is that I'm not using fingers to drive it like this, right? Fingers, if you keep using your finger joints, they actually get kind of tiring, especially if you're playing chords. So here, watch this. If I'm just going to use like C, D, and C, E, and G. Okay, C, E, and G is thumb, middle finger, and pinky finger. So I'm only doing every other finger. And all I'm doing is I'm just tensing up those fingers, but I'm not actually flexing them. So whenever I push down, right, those are the keys that get actuated. And the actual pressing down it's actually in the wrist. It's either in the wrist, or you can even do it from the elbow. I'm not going to tell you which way to do it, because you're going to find a way that's comfortable with it. You're going to practice with it. Practice, 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 partly because you're going to find out which hand positions are the most tiring, which ones afford the most flexibility. It's really up to you. I can't say, like, do this, this is the best way, do that, that's the best way. We all have different arms and legs, and we're all built differently. And so you're going to have to find the one that works most comfortably for you. No, you might run into some situations where you have an instructor who says, you're doing it all wrong, you have to do it this way, and that is the way for him. If it's not the way for you and you are not comfortable, you're not going to feel like you want to practice. It's going to turn piano playing into an unpleasant experience. And I think that in order to get good at anything, you have to spend a lot of time at it. And in order for you to be able to spend a lot of time at it, it's got to feel comfortable. It's got to be good. It's got to be a pleasant experience, because I play piano for fun. I draw for fun. Everything I do for fun. So here's the other thing I want to show you about patterns. Watch this. Now here's the thing. It's kind of like this one, but in this case, I'm doing the thumb and the pinky finger. So I'm trying to make the hands do the same thing. And this is This is tricky, okay? This is why I say learn patterns, because we're always trying to fight with the problem of working two hands at the same time. And I mean, yeah, you could kind of do this, but what this does is this forces you to just look at individual notes, and it doesn't get you really, you know, this sounds nice, doesn't it? When you hear two hands playing at the same time, one high, one low, it sounds good. Not only that, when you start practicing this, okay, you're going to be doing this a lot before you really get the hang of it. And it comes to the point where, well, look at me, I'm talking and I'm doing this at the same time. That means that it's really ingrained in my head. It's become something that I won't say mastered. I'm not a master at it. But I'll say that I'm comfortable with it to the point where I don't even have to think about it to do it. Right? So you practice and practice. But here's the problem. When you practice the same notes, this starts to get really freaking tiring and even grating on the ear. So what you do is when you start to feel a little, ear's not sounding, you don't like the way it sounds on the ear, just shift your hand over and just keep playing. Same pattern, different notes, sounds a lot nicer on the ears, and in a way, you could keep doing this. Right? So the thing is that it does two things. Number one, it gets you used to the pattern. Number two, it gets you comfortable with your hands being in any position. I kind of want to ingrain in people the idea that there isn't necessarily a wrong note, and it's necessarily bad. There are bad notes, and your hands are hitting the wrong notes, and that stuff just makes you want to stop playing the piano. Play the piano. I mean, wear headphones, get a MIDI piano, get like an electronic piano that you can plug headphones in and you're not disturbing anybody, and just have fun with it, man. Just have fun with it, and don't worry about, And oh, here's another thing. Okay, so I'm just saying, again, it's about patterns. It's about patterns and it's about getting your hands to synchronize, and not only synchronize, like, okay, this is one that I don't have engraved in my head, so I'm going to have to just give it a shot. Okay, so, all right, the moment I wanted to talk, I screwed up. But here's the thing. Two notes on one hand, one note on the other. So watch this. Okay, so here again. All right, now, don't try to learn all the patterns at once. I'm showing you I'm showing you what I have gained after, just years. And the thing is, and I'm saying not years of dedicated practice, years of just like once every few months deciding, I think I'll learn something, right? So I mean, it's all you get what you put into it, okay? If you do this stuff day after day after day, I'm sure you'll pick it up a lot faster than I did. Okay, but I think this stuff is valuable, and it's and so again, in my case I do two on the right, one on the left. Later, switch it up. Do one on the right and two on the do one on the right and two on the left. So it becomes, oh gosh. So it's like my hand's taking over, right? And my hand's not doing quite what I want it to do. But this is why I say learn patterns. It's fun. It's tricky. It's kind of cool, right? So, hang on. Let's see if I can do this. Here's another one. Stagger. So instead of doing unison, this is unison. You can try this. Stagger. So you'll see what I'm doing is first that, then that, then that. And you try and, if you want, you can speed it up, speed it up, speed it up. Try and get some ragtime going, because like you hear like any kind of ragtime music, they're using like those like low keys. And I should have gone for like an 88 key or like one of the really, I don't know. I should have gone for a longer one because just sometimes I want to go off to the sides and I run out of space. This is a 49 key keyboard. If you're starting out, it's probably okay. It's much cheaper, probably. It takes up less room in your house again. But if I guess the thing is this, you know, don't pay like $5,000 for like some ridiculous, amazing keyboard, and then get a cheap one at first, and practice it and see if you have the time to practice, and plunk away at it whenever you can. And right now I'm kind of starting to feel the limits of this keyboard, and now I think I need a better keyboard, and so I will later upgrade. In fact, if anything, I'll get a keyboard rack with like a double stack, and I can put this one on top and put the other one down below, and I can do like the evangelist thing, right? So that's what I could hope I can do. So anyway, another thing, black keys for now, like these like the halftones. Don't worry about them. Just stick with the chromatic for now. Uh, and anyway, let's see. What else can I show you? Right. Remember how I was saying like one on this? Well, here's the thing. Once you get used to doing like going up on scales, then just try doing random fingers. So so you see what's happening, right? Is I'm just kind of mashing random keys, but I'm keeping with the pattern. So 1 and 2. So two, 1 on one hand, 2 on the other hand. And of course I'm hitting some of the in-betweens, but this is the reason why you practice, so that eventually your hands get used to indexing in between each one of these keys. And so again, you do this kind of stuff. And when I hear it, it's like, you know what? I don't have much of a trained ear. I must have like a junk ear, because when I listen to it, it's like, this sounds like classical music. It sounds like they're just farting around. But they've got the patterns. They've got the right patterns, and it's like that's improvisation, man. It's improvisation. And you know what? I just say, again, you've got to be just practicing patterns, moving your hands around on the keyboard to get a sense, like a tactile sense for what, where on the keyboard what note is. And you're not going to get it if you just do this, right? Like that's not going to, it doesn't give you that feeling. It won't teach you to improvise. And don't worry about having to, pull out a song sheet and play that one song. Just be able to improvise, play by ear. I do not have perfect pitch. Okay, whatever the big brouhaha is about perfect pitch doesn't matter. If you can play it, and if you can play like just get the patterns right, and you can enjoy the sound of it in your head, you like the way it sounds, then who cares, right? For fun. It's for fun, and so anyway, that is my first lesson on playing a piano. If you enjoy it, please like and add like or dislike. Say something in the comments. Share and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I'll be seeing you soon.